All right, so today I am discussing both common sense and the Declaration of Independence. Common sense, according to the Republican charisma and the American Revolution, the textual persona of Thomas Paine's Common Sense, says directly common sense helped transform the relatively conservative colonial protest movement of 1765 to 1775 into the American Revolution. And the other article, Thomas Paine's Reflections on the Revolution in France, Inventing a Reactionary Paine in 1825, discuss how Paine was so influential in his writing of Common Sense that France prohibited their translation of Common Sense until 1805. Now, that is because both Common Sense and the Declaration of Independence have influence in the words that they use in their documents. Some examples of those influences of trying to become a new nation include, in the Declaration of Independence, and I quote, "It is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness," which is two important words to remember. But first, I'm going to read what Common Sense said. "But the injuries and disadvantages which we sustain by that connection are without number, and our duty to mankind at large as well as to ourselves instruct us to renounce the alliance, because any submission to or dependence on Great Britain tends directly to involve this continent in European wars and quarrels, and set us at variance with nations who would otherwise seek our friendship, and against whom we have neither anger nor complaint." Now we go back to Thomas Jefferson. He said safety and happiness. Thomas Paine does not say those same words, but he means the same exact thing. We need a new nation because safety and happiness rely on that. Right now we don't have that because European nations, such as Great Britain, are pulling us into this war when we could be friends with other nations. Thomas Jefferson continues, "But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to overthrow such government and to provide new guards for their future security." So he's saying we need to overthrow the current government because we need to make sure we're safe again, right? And Thomas Paine continues, "The good people of this country are grievously oppressed by the combination," meaning both Britain and what they are doing with their safety and happiness, right? "They have an undoubted privilege to inquire into the pretensions of both and equally reject the usurpations of either." So they have this right, because they are Americans, to change the government, overthrow the government, as preventing them from this safety and happiness, from pulling them into unwanted wars, in order to make sure you have those future securities of safety and happiness, right? Thomas Jefferson continues, "Our repeated petitions have been answered by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people." Paine continues, "Volumes have been written on the subject of the struggle between England and America. Men of all ranks have embarked in the controversy from different motives and with various designs, but all have been ineffectual, and the period of debate is closed. Arms at the last resource decide the contest. The appeal was the choice of the king, and the continent has accepted the challenge." So both of them, in both these sections I just read, are saying we have made repeated inquiries, we've made repeated petitions to the king, to Parliament, to say, this is how you're doing us wrong. This is what we don't like. This is what is sacrificing our safety and happiness. But every time, it goes ignored, and things get worse, right? We see the Stamp Act and the Sugar Act. We see Stamp Act and Sugar Act, right? And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And what both of them are saying is it is time to say enough is enough, and it is time to create a new nation, right? So together, putting these together, they overlap to make people understand and want a new nation, a new American nation.